Hey everybody, it is Cooper with Coop's Covers, coming at you from my house. I am back from college. I usually record stuff in my dorm. I have a small break in between the end of college and leaving for Israel. So I figured I'd make a few videos so that I'd have some content to push out about things that I might not have had in college. One of those things being this Vox AC4 amp, which is the subject of today's video. This is, I believe, a 2010, though I could be wrong on that, Vox AC4-C1. Now, later versions of the amp were black, they're slightly larger, and they have a 12-inch speaker. This has a 10-inch speaker and is this blue. I believe that's based on 1964 styling with this plainer kind of beige grow cloth. I guess it's more gray grow cloth. And it is a single-ended 4-watt amp, powered by one EL84 and two 12AX7 preamp tubes through a 12-inch ceramic speaker. And the controls on it are extremely simple. You have your power, and then your gain, your bass, your treble control, so a 2-band EQ, and a volume control. And this amp was actually my first ever tube amp, and I wanted to see, could it be improved in any way? So I like this amp, but when you plug into it, it sounds very tinny, it sounds very fizzy. I'm going to play you some recordings of that. And I wanted to see, could I make this an amazing home practice amp? Right now, the no watt and 4-watt, 5-watt amps like the Champ are getting really popular with home players. Fender just released the Viber Champ. Vox has a hand-wired version of this that's pretty popular, and this amp itself is very popular. People like Milkman or Rift amps or Tone King are getting into the 5-watt world from the boutique side of things. So this is a very, very popular amp space, and this is a very affordable amp. I bought this for $189, and it was actually a birthday gift, so I didn't buy it, but it was $189 used. And it was my first ever tube amp. So can I make this the perfect home practice amp to use with my pedals, to use when I need to be a lot quieter than my 40-watt Hot Rod Deluxe? So that's going to be the subject of today's video. First, I'm going to play for you this amp completely stock as it comes from the factory. Now, I have never had this amp serviced, so take that knowledge with that sound. However, it doesn't seem to have anything wrong with it. The tubes are functioning well. I've tested them. And yeah, then I'm going to modify this amp with some of the common mods that you can find online. And modifications, while daunting and never work on a tube amp on your own, because of the high voltages that it can expose you to, are sometimes a great way to make an amp that might not be your thing into something that can be really beneficial to your playing. So why do I want to do anything to this amp? Well, as I said, the 4-watt amp range, or the 5-watt, no-watt stuff, is getting really popular for a couple reasons. One, it allows you to play in your room, like most of us do at home, without annoying the neighbors. If you live in an apartment, something like this is probably a great option. If you live, which I do, if you live in a house and you need to be able to play without annoying your housemates, this is a great option because it allows you to get those sounds in a much smaller package at lower volumes. This especially is a great option, this Vox AC4-C1, because it has a master volume setup, allowing you to get gain at lower volumes. The other thing is it is a single-ended amp, and what that means is that it has one power tube, and it's Class A, which is very classic Vox. And why that's important is single-ended amps are extremely responsive to the way that you play, to kind of the feel aspect of the amp. And I think when I play this amp more, my playing automatically improves because I can just hear everything a lot better. So I'm going to do some recordings with this amp for you. First, it's going to be stock. Then I'm going to detail the mods that I do, and then I'm going to play it with those mods and compare it. So I'm going to use two pedals today on the floor. This amp does not have reverb, so I will be using a TC Electronic Hall of Fame 2 reverb set to the plate setting. This is just a very nice ambience to add to any amp that doesn't have reverb and might be a little dry. The other pedal is I'm going to use a electro-harmonic soul food. This is because the people buying this amp are people who will likely be on a budget. The soul food is a very cheap overdrive pedal based on the Klon circuit, which tends to work well with amps like this. So I feel like that is a good overdrive pedal to use with this amp. So yeah, please let me know what you think, if you think the mods that I do are worth it, and if you guys have any questions about the Vox AC4-C1, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Thank you so much. Hey guys, I just wanted to update you after those clips and after having edited them and listening to them. So first things first, I think I should talk about the recording setup, which I was using a Dynamic Shure SM57 mic. Now that mic is known for being extremely warm and extremely good for guitar amps. However, because it's warm and because it has this mid-hump, I don't think it was the best mic to record these amps with, and I apologize for that. So they sounded quite similar in the clips. They did not sound similar in the room, and I think a lot of that has to do with the mic. I tried to use identical placement, I tried to use identical settings. I think the reverb was a little higher before the mod, but other than that, it should be about the same. So just keep that in mind, that recording setup does really matter. Thoughts in the room about the amps. I vastly prefer the amp after the mod. I think it did a lot of what I was looking to do. I think it could maybe use a speaker swap still, and it could potentially still use a speaker swap, and it could potentially still use removing some of those brake capacitors, because there's a lot of filtering that goes on in the amp, and maybe replacing some of the values. Stuff that might go over my head. And then lastly, I just want to go over what the mods actually were that I did. So I removed capacitor 4 and capacitor 20. I will put photos in the video. And those capacitors are basically in front of the volume and gain knobs and just increase brightness as you turn them down. And the issue is that because I'm playing at mostly bedroom levels, and it's a small amp, it doesn't really need that like a large amp like an AC15 or 30 might need that. So I think it really helped to remove these. I think there are still some capacitor changes to come, and I hope you enjoyed the video, so please let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching.